Facebook and all around the world. Lots of new music we like to feature on our shows.
Happy Sunday. We usually don't do shows on Sunday, but this is nice and relaxed and laid back.
We got a special guest today on the show. We have he's a national recording artist, and we like to feature all kinds of new music everywhere. Gussie Miller's on the show.
Oh, I can't wait, because last time he was on the show, I was not on the show because of illness. And I'm so excited because it's my favorite kind of music. Jazzy and sexy and what else? What else? And smooth.
Right. Smooth, jazzy, and sexy. All the things that she absolutely loves. So we're going to get to some new music with Gussie Miller here in just a minute. In fact, I think we've got him on our feed right there. Let's see if we can bring him into the show here. Gussie, hello there. Are you there?
Hey there. How you doing?
Good. Good. Now, where are we streaming you from right now? For people who know, now you normally reside in Los Angeles, but today you're, where are you today?
We're on the road. Yes, I'm currently in Columbus, Ohio.
That is not Los
which
Angeles.
Is actually my hometown.
Columbus. Really?
All right. Shout out to Columbus.
Okay. I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
C-Bus.
Right.
I know nothing of that
it.
area.
Here,
nothing.
You know, on a dual mission. You know, we're celebrating my father's 90th birthday.
Wow. God bless him.
As well as negotiating with some folks for the new, summer festival season. So we're going to see what happens. Don't want to jinx it, but hopefully we'll be back this summer.
Oh, cool.
That'll be so cool.
Nice.
So did you get the summer festival gig all locked in? Are you going to do this whole thing? Are you for
well,
sure?
Like I said, we don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
We're
working towards it.
Working
okay. Now, the reason why we have you on the show.
Working on that. Yes, had a gig last night.
Right.
Sitting in with a band, and I'll give them a plug. They're called Next Level Jazz Experience.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's NEX Level Jazz on Facebook. And it's 4 gentlemen who actually play extremely well. And they are often used by a lot of the big smooth jazz artists like Paul Taylor, let's see here, Gerald Albright, Jeff Kashua. And when they come through town, instead of like bringing like their whole band, they'll hire these guys to do dates in Ohio and Michigan and Indiana, so on and so forth, because it's much less expensive. So I'm considering doing something like that. I'll bring my musical director, Noriko Uling, and my guitar player, Jay Gore, and then basically they augment the band. So instead of having to fly out 7 people, I fly out 2.
So we're going to play.
Does the other members, do they get like all nasty with you, or do you just like throw some goodies at them, like donuts and stuff?
Well, Anna, that's a good that's a good question. We're soon going to find out.
Well, you're from Ohio.
I guess it's one of those.
So do you guys just? I mean, you're from Ohio, so you just like deep fry everything and be like, okay, you can't come with us, but here's some deep fried Twinkies.
Oh no,
no,
I don't deep fry anything.
Good for you.
As a matter of fact, it's been shocking because I came back to town and everyone knows the Midwest, they know how to eat. It's the heartland.
They definitely know how to eat.
Living in California, I don't eat any of that stuff now.
Did you enjoy? I hear that
I eat like once a day.
Now, you told us off air a while ago that there's Rib Fest going on in Columbus right now. Or was that today?
No, it's not going on now, but it's about to happen. It happens actually every summer.
Oh, okay.
It's a big to-do.
Part of the summer
come
thing.
on,
Okay.
Gussie. Now, we know very well that L.A. has one, too, but usually they count the ribs on your body. They don't necessarily eat them.
Right.
Oh!
Yeah, L.A. Rib Fest.
Right.
It's Fashion Week.
Yes, it's a whole different thing.
So
Jazz and Rib Fest happens over the summer,
mm-hmm.
And then before that, there's another thing called the African American Cultural Festival. But we're not talking about those yet because we don't want to jinx it.
No.
So tell everybody a little bit about some of the artists that you've worked with and some of your background. Okay, because we're going to get to some of your new music here in just a second, but I want to give them an idea of the sort of background that you have for people who haven't maybe heard of you yet out here in New England.
Okay. Well, it's funny because I used to live in New England, so I am not a stranger to New England. I actually used to be in a band that played around New England back in the late 80s called Peer Pressure, P-E-E-R.
All right, there you go.
And that actually led to my songwriting career. So played all through New England. I'm talking Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut. We were kind of everywhere. And after that, moved to L.A., and the first artist I actually worked with before I moved was actually Gino Vanelli.
Oh, my gosh.
Who, of course, is still very huge all around the world. And it was right after the Big Dreamers Never Sleep record. I'm on Inconsolable Man, which is actually, interesting enough, one of my favorite Gino records, not because I'm on it, but he's just, he's Gino, he's a genius.
Right.
So that really was kind of the kicker. And then after that, I got a gig with a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer that I had never heard of. And I got the call, and I called my mother and I said, "So Mom, have you heard of like a woman named Laverne Baker?" And my mother was like, "Oh my God, you're going to sing with Laverne Baker?" And I'm like, "Who is she?" And my mother said, "Well, she was bigger than Elvis when I was younger, like, back in the early 50s. It was a huge, huge thing." And I, of course, I looked her up, and she had Shake a Hand, and I Cried a Tear, and Saved, which were songs.
Laverne
so
Baker.
I did a live record, which is actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Can we say happy birthday to Laverne Baker? Because her birthday, she's a Pisces, and her birthday was March 10th.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Oh my God, you are just serious. Look at you. I was like, boom.
She knows everyone in the world's birthday. That's her gift.
My
That's
birthday was March 8th, and I love jazz and I love contemporary music, and her birthday was.
But that is also on a superpower, is knowing everyone's birthday. I'm serious. I'm not making that up.
Well, then I would like to say happy birthday to the legendary Laverne Baker. She was actually pretty cool. And what was the coolest thing about it is that it was a live record. Mm-hmm. It was produced by a gentleman by the name of Andy Paley, whose father was one of the bigwigs at CBS. So obviously it was like a who's who showed up. And interestingly enough, this was back in 1991. The record's called Live in Hollywood. It was on Rhino Records. So everybody who was anybody at that time, Sean Penn came. He was still married to Madonna, so Madonna was there. All of the rock and roll like Hall of Fame, what's his face? The guy who did "I Put a Spell on You." Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that guy's name. I did that on karaoke the other night. It was wonderful.
Him.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And interestingly enough, even though I think he's in jail now, Phil Spector came.
Oh, jeez. And his hair.
That was before he was murdering folks.
Oh, it was
back in the day.
Yes, yeah, it was shocking,
right?
So, but I don't want to say anything back. He might get out someday. And
I still think his hair did it. So, I don't think he did it.
I think you could take him. I really don't think you have to worry about Phil Spector. But
right? So
I think
after that, got a gig singing background for Cher.
Yeah.
So on a record called Hurts, and then other than that, I was blessed to work with the legendary Marcus Miller, who is a record producer, probably one of the best living bass players in the world. And a film composer, and subsequently that led to a bunch of stuff. And then before that, actually, I was singing with my first band, where I got to work with the great Mindy A. Bear, who is, of course, very legendary smooth jazz saxophonist now. And there are still videos up on my YouTube channel of us playing together. And that was actually a place called At My Place in Santa Monica that doesn't exist anymore. But it's funny how they say you never know who's watching. And we were opening for a woman who ended up being Cloris Leachman's daughter. She's actually very nice.
Really?
And
that's funny.
Yeah, because Cloris was there, and subsequently, of course, I got to work with her later on. We'll talk about that in a second.
Oh God, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
A gentleman by the name of David Grossman actually was in the audience, and at that time, David was the head of television music for Paramount Pictures. Mm-hmm. So therefore, or I should say, correct me, Paramount Television. So David placed a bunch of my stuff in television shows in the 90s, and that's kind of it all kind of started, snowballing. So there you go.
That's really cool. What a great story. I love stuff like that. And you know what? I have to take it back because I have been really okay. So I do astrology. That's why I remember everybody's birthdays. But I did make a mistake because see the Pisces Scorpio thing. You know how I'm Pisces, Scorpio.
Yes. We all know that. By the way.
Well, no, but I'm telling you. So it was the other way around. She's a Scorpio, November 11th, and she died on March 10th.
Oh,
so
there you go.
There you go.
You
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just I got mom brain.
Okay.
I'm terribly sorry.
Because all the people of the internet will correct her if she gets
I'm
it
like
wrong.
Sheldon Cooper. Like I won't let it drop.
Crazy.
Like I have to redeem myself. That's,
right.
It's just the way I am.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So are we ready to play some new music? Because I want to share your video. We're going to do some new music. What's that?
Yeah, we should probably talk about the fact that this is from Forever Plan, right? My record from 2016.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about Forever Plan really quick.
Talk about the new music that's coming.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so tell us about Forever Plan really quick before we start this. We're gonna play. What more can I say?
The really short version would be some of those songs are actually written with my songwriting partner from back in that band from New England. His name is Paul Roshan.
Awesome.
He is now very well known for designing the hardware for a company called Mark of the Unicorn, which is based in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
I love it.
And we wrote a couple songs that are actually on the record, one of which is called Make It Right, and the other one is called Leave. And matter of fact, I'm getting ready to cut another song that we wrote back in the day, which is going to be mixed by the legendary Al Schmidt at Capitol Recording Studios when I get back. And so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, I decided I wanted to do a solo record after working with a bunch of people as a background singer and doing studio sessions and all that and doing movie and television scores because, Marcus Miller put me in I Think I Love My Wife and put me on Everybody Hates Chris. So I got to sing a bunch of those vocals and stuff for the Chris Rock television show, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
But
I got to tell Dylan.
I had not finished, I had not finished the solo record. So basically I started again after starting 1, 2, 3 times and was able to ask my business partner, Alessandro Alessandroni, who is a musical director for artists like Pink and Nelly Furtado and Christina Aguilera and Babyface, and he played with Natalie Cole right up until Natalie's death, if he would step in and help. So he called a bunch of people, one of which was Bobby Watson, the original bass player for Rufus and Shaka Khan, my longtime friend and drummer Herman Matthews, who's 5 records with Tower of Power, Kenny Loggins, Leap of Faith, Richard Marx, so on and so forth, was on the drum chair. And then my dear friend Jay Gore, who of course is featured on the song one of the songs you're going to play called Give It All, who was on guitar. So we cut that in about 2012, and we worked for like 2 days in the studio at Universal Music Publishing, working with Motown recording engineer Ralph Sutton, who was like legendary. Ralph worked with Prince and worked with Lionel Richie. So,
cool.
and of course, tons of people. So after that, just as luck would have it, it sat for like another almost 2 years. One thing led to another.
Wow.
And then somewhere in 2016, we got to the point where, okay, let's finish this. So we finally got it done. And I actually worked with Mike Fennell, who is the senior recording engineer at Universal Music Publishing. And we struck a deal where he co-produced, sung some of the best vocals in my life. And finally, we got it done, got it on the Grammy ballot.
Wow.
And, of course, I was run over like a Mack truck by Chance the Rapper. So.
Oh,
no.
Gosh. Of course. That's the way it
What
always
a
goes, right?
story. Gosh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so, so at least we got it done. And then, we can talk when you're ready about the new stuff that's coming down the pike because we got 2 singles that we're getting ready right now, which are going to be from the next record.
Cool. By the way, somebody watching our show right now over in the Isle of Wight is Nick Skur. He's got his own radio show over there. So he's
Nick Skur.
Yeah, so
we love Nick Skur.
We do.
So we're going to play some new music from Gussie Miller here. We're going to play What More Can I Say? We're going to play that first.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back. We'll have Gussie Miller, and maybe we'll have patched into the phones Nick Skur from the Isle of Wight.
So cool.
Fabulous.
Oh, my gosh.
We love Nick because Nick does a fabulous job of promoting independent artists from the Isle of Wight all around the world. Has played me on his show. Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Anyway, thanks for watching today, Nick. And if you're ready, we'll do some new music. Who's ready for new music? Are we ready?
I am. And I love the way how artistic Gussie looks. Like he's got this.
He's got dramatic
sun
shadows.
thing
Yeah, this
going,
is good.
And he's very dramatic.
We'll come back and he'll be all the way in the shadows.
I love it.
All right. We have What More Can I Say with Gussie Miller coming right up.
You Thank you. I liked it better the second time around, actually.
There he is, Gussie Miller, and what can I say? And what can you say, Gussie? That's good stuff, man.
So cool.
Glad you like it. Glad you like it. Very blessed to have a fabulous live band. As a matter of fact, Herman Matthews, who of course was driving that groove there, is on the record. So is Jay Gore, the guitar player to my left, and Rick Keller, the saxophonist on my left. Actually, I'm sorry. Actually, let me take that back. The guitarist on my right and the saxophonist on my left, because of course you have to think backwards. Or on the album,
right?
And this time the whole band is actually on the new album.
And we have one of your friends on the phone all the way from England. We have Nick Skur. Yay. Are you there, Nick?
Yeah, I am. How are you guys? All right?
We're good. We're good,
great.
man.
How are you?
It's been a little while
Hey,
now. That's great music there, Gussie.
Oh my God, I love it.
Thank you, Nick. Love to you, man.
Oh, you too, man.
So how are things over in the Isle of Wight, Nick?
Very good. I've actually taken a small break from radio as well to kind of focus on my music promotion business, my non-profit one. So it's things are looking quite good this year.
So go ahead and since we met Gussie through Nick Skur, by the way.
That's right.
So go ahead and put a plug out there for your nonprofit music promotion business, because I don't have the logo or anything in front of me, but I want to make sure you get that out there, Nick.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing this year...
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here,
okay.
yeah.
I lost you there. You said basically what I'm doing this year, and then we heard nothing, which was really anticlimactic for everyone.
Sorry. So basically I'm taking a small break from radio. I'm going back in August.
Yeah.
And I am volunteering and promoting a music festival up in Scotland called the Mermaid Music Festival. Which is really, really cool, and I'll be hoping to be taking an unsigned upcoming musician from Wales called Martin Jones up to the venue. But it's also in the local area where I was actually brought up and used to live. And it's going to be a bit of a school reunion and just lots of love for music, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, I'll be there.
She'll do anything just to hear your accent, your
I'll
voice.
sell my family. I'll
gosh.
do whatever.
She's a sucker for the English accent.
I'm a
great.
sucker for Scotland. I'm a sucker. I mean, I cried in church this morning because it was St. Patrick's Day, Mass. And so, they had, all the flags of Ireland and of course, and they did the whole, first part of the Mass all in Celtic. And I was just, smiling like SpongeBob. I had, a smile from, ear to ear. I was living in it,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think last year on St. Patrick's Day, we actually had our other little show that you put together, which was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. That's right, it was. We did a show with him St. Patrick's Day.
And Robert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
in Birmingham.
Because we couldn't do a proper Irish accent, so he contacted
We got
Nick
Robert from Birmingham to help us out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we had that guy with a T-shirt on with the St. Patrick's Day on it. I still watch it now. It's a pretty good video.
So back to you, Gussie. What's going on with you now? I mean, you're in Columbus now, working on getting that music festival gig there for the Summer Music Festival. What other big projects do you have? I won't say use the word looming, but coming. It sounds so dark.
Looming?
Say, yeah, like it's going to creep up on you.
Really looming? This was the word we came up with.
What's imminent? What's coming up next for you?
Funny you say that. We actually did a press release not too long ago. Strangely enough, that went over really big in Rhode Island, probably because of you guys. Your Channel 6 ABC affiliate picked it up, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
But
they often have slow news days around there. I just want to say, but
yeah, and that's good for me.
No, I'm just messing with you. You're great. I'm bagging.
We decided to do the old Jonathan Edwards song called "Sunshine Go Away Today."
I know that one. Yeah, I know it. I have that album downstairs.
She wants to sing it with you.
No.
Wow.
She does.
Wow.
I know that. Yeah, it's downstairs. It had really bad, what do you call it? Bell bottoms, though. It was a terrible cover. It was bad.
Those are coming back.
No.
What, the bell bottoms?
Those are coming back. But, always love the song. And it technically is a protest song. And not to get political or anything, but at this stage of the game, I feel like it's time for for a protest song.
Right?
So that's why I decided to do that. And in the middle of doing that, because they're still working on the track, we decided to work on one of the songs that was not on Forever Plan. That's another one of the songs that Paul Rochon and I from New England wrote, called Hold On. And I just got some really cool information from my sources. I had been talking to the great Al Schmidt, who I think Al has like 24 Grammys. He's a producer engineer. And for those of you who don't know who he is, Al Schmidt is responsible for recording albums like Reason. Actually, matter of fact, he produced Reason for George Benson.
If you don't know who he is, you should go learn yourself up, is what you should do.
He's helping us out.
Exactly. As well as he recorded Unforgettable for Natalie Cole and won a bunch of Grammys for that. And that's not even to mention the fact that he has personally recorded people like Frank Sinatra and the late, great Nat King Cole. So he's like a legend's legend.
Yeah, they don't make them like
so
that
to work
anymore.
with him, I'm very excited.
So when you work, I got a question for
Put
you.
in a different league.
So when you work with guys like this that you obviously look up to because they're iconic achievements in the music business.
Amazing.
He's an icon.
I know. So do you, even though you've been doing this for a long time, do you go into those studios with these guys, do you find yourself a little more nervous or amped up, or does it help you focus more?
Well, I mean,
when you have to record.
To a certain degree, first of all, Al's a really nice guy, and he's a really quality,
right,
individual. Very, self-effacing. But let's face it, you are sitting there when you are sitting with Al Schmidt with a guy who's got like 24 Grammys.
Yeah.
He works with the best of the best. You're working in the studio. They call it the house that Nat built. And this is like the studio that's in the Capitol Records building. It's round like a stack of records on a spindle.
Yeah.
So in general, you're kind of like this.
Right? But that's kind of
because let's face it,
yeah.
He's a legend. It's a legendary studio.
Okay, here's
and
a question.
Even though I've known the woman who manages that studio for many years, her name is Paula Salvatore. Hi, Paula, love you. Even just getting that call, I was like, what's the word? Breathless. Where you're like, oh my God, he wants to do it. Oh, this is great.
That's what I was going to ask is, okay, so now you've got the call and now you know you have to go to the appointment and now it's the day of and now you wake up. What do you do? Like, what do you like? How do you prepare yourself to go into the office? I mean, because I don't know about you, but I would have to get every kind of like anti-diarrhea thing there was on the market. I'll tell you that right now.
Thanks for that information. That's
I don't care. I'm transparent about it. I just don't want to be transparent, transparent.
Right.
The main thing you worry about in these kind of situations as a technical person is that you don't want to waste someone's time at the echelon, at the level that a person like Al Schmidt is at.
Right.
So therefore, what I've been stressing about, not really about anything except for, hey, are the tracks together? Is the solo recorded well? Am I happy with my lead vocal? I'm pretty happy at this point with the background vocals because I did those late last year and saved them. So pretty happy with how those sound. Not at this stage of the game crazy about the lead vocal. So I'm actually considering recutting it when I get back to Los Angeles Monday night.
I love that,
because
David.
you just want to bring like your A game to that situation.
Right. Yep, Davin is telling you, well, we're going to go with this music, blah, blah. And I could hear it in your voice. You're like, I'd rather. And, isn't that the thing with artists? It's like, I know what I like. I can feel it. And I'd rather you go with that. And the people on the outside are like, we just love you. Like, we don't even hear whatever it is you're making up in your mind, these monkey things. Like,
right.
We just want you to sing.
When we're mixing
and you're
but
like, yeah, but I rather.
Al Schmidt has worked with Barbra Streisand.
No, I'm talking about today. Like when we were just picking your song, you're like,
Oh right, yeah. Like my opinion, like the next song we're going to play with Gussie Miller.
It's my favorite.
Is called "Give It All," and we're not going to play it just yet, but in a minute. And it's a more stripped down version of what you did in the previous song, which I think showcases you way better.
And that's
I like it way more.
That's what it like. That's beautiful.
You know
why? Because you're stretching and you're stretching and you're like,
yeah,
that's
cool.
not my best. Like we're like, yes it is, and you're like, no, it's not. We're like, yes it is.
And that's the funny thing about being an artist. And Nick in England there will agree. Everybody is their own critic of everything. It's like what you love, I may think is not your best, and what I love, you might think is total crap. And how many times have you heard the story? How many times have you heard the story of music artists, especially one-hit wonders, where they're just sick and tired of playing that one song that makes them all the money?
I know.
And meanwhile, it's probably their best stuff, arguably, according to the masses. You know. And
well,
so
it's funny you say that because there's a famous song by James Taylor, speaking of New England, who is like, you know, the archetype of singer-songwriters that I love.
Right.
And he, in a song called That's Why I'm Here, he actually says, people pay good money to hear Fire and Rain again and again and again.
Oh, I know.
And he's not complaining.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is he's saying, this song made me who I am. And that's a huge thing.
It is. It is.
And by the way, I've got like every Carly Simon. Just so you know.
Oh,
Just FYI.
please.
Yeah. So
She's the best.
So
You
Nick,
belong to me. That's my joint.
so we have Nick on the phone from England in case you're just, or from the Isle of Wight in case you're just now tuning in and watching us on Facebook Live. Nick, what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Gussie Miller song that we could force him to play that he hates? That's his own record.
Oh, well, there's quite a few. I mean, I've the one that you just played. I've actually been listening to a little bit on social media, and it's quite hooky. So it'd be nice to hear when that track's actually mastered and produced and everything else. And but yeah, it's really good live. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Have you heard "Give It All"? Have you heard the stripped down version? Now,
Give It All, yeah, it's very good. I certainly like the intro part.
Yeah,
that's quite special. So
it is cool.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's we're happy to have you on, of course, and if you like, I'd like to play that song now, unless you have other more stuff that you want to cover before we get to that song.
No, I'll just I'll put my best listening face on.
Tell us the story behind this one, because this is a stripped down version. I got this. You can find this on YouTube, by the way. Just Google Gussie Miller, and you'll find him all over the place. But what's the story behind this stripped down version? You were doing something for charity, or I forget what the story goes.
Well, no, what it was is that National Public Radio here in the United States, NPR,
right,
has a thing that they do called the Tiny Desk Concert, where you basically have to be at a desk, any desk, and then you perform. And then they pick their favorite, or not necessarily their favorite, but they put them on their website, and everybody kind of logs on and they pick the favorite one. And the one that gets the most votes wins the national competition, and you do a tour. So this was our Tiny Desk entry for that, and it had to be unplugged and acoustic. So that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
And this one did win the national prize of $1 million, right?
No, it did not, unfortunately.
Well,
yes.
if I were voting, it would have. But I was too late to vote on that one.
I just love everything about it. I love the sound, and I really like the way it looks. And of course, I'm a jazz snob, so I'm all about the wood behind it and the guitar.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it from beginning to end.
Now, we're about to play the video. You got two people accompanying you on this. You have the guitarist and the keyboardist. Who are those people, really quick, before we fire it off?
I am very blessed to work with two of the most talented musicians in Los Angeles. The keyboardist is actually my musical director. Her name is Noriko Uling.
Nice.
And Noriko is famous for doing the charts, like as in the charts that musicians read for like every major smooth jazz artist that there is. And literally, I met her because Jay Gore, who is the guy who's playing guitar, is well known as a smooth jazz artist in his own right. He's got a new album out actually right now, and his last record, Identity, did really well.
How awesome.
So I think Noriko did charts for Peter White. She did charts for Michael Langton. She did all these different people. So I said, Jay, who should do my charts? He's like, you got to get Noriko. So I called Noriko. We're talking about doing the charts, and midway through it, she's like, so, if you don't have a keyboard player, I know all these songs.
Oh my gosh, that is so
I can
cool.
be your keyboard player.
All right. Well,
and there you go.
All right, that's cool.
It.
All right, so without further ado, this is Give It All, and this is on your album Forever Plan, which you can download and find everywhere nowadays, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, here it is, guys. We're going to play this. We'll come back, talk with more with Gussie Miller. I've got some things in the news that you may have missed over last week that we're going to have some fun with as well.
Definitely.
And Nick Skur, you going to stay with us on the phone there, or is it too late for you there?
No, absolutely. I'll stay online.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll come right back with more of these guys. Here's Give It All with Gussie Miller.
Well, I'm the type of man, don't need more than most. Just someone to kiss me right in a pair of arms, hold me close. I had searched high and low. True love could not be found. Well, I began to think, well, there are no good ones around. I never knew how much I had been missing, girl, until you came into my view. I had to get you in my world. Then you came to me. It was just like a song, set my groove in harmony. Now I know where I belong. Speak my name, I hear you call, and I feel your love coming on. Never once did I plan to fall. After one night with you, I would give it all. Let me start again. Can't begin to tell how you move me with your ways. It's like you know me very well. I can't believe it's true. Happening to me. Love so true and refined. Opens my eyes so now I see. I should let you in. Stop before we start. After all, I couldn't let another woman break my heart. The feeling is much too real. From the state of being, I don't care what people say, but loving you might be a sin. Speak my name, I hear you call, and I feel your love coming on. Never once did I plan to fall. After one night with you, I would give it all. I can hear you call. Catch me now while I'm falling and falling and falling into your arms tonight. My heart is in your hands. Just to understand. 'Cause I'd do anything to be your man. 'Cause when you call me, when you speak my name, whoa, I hear you go. Once did I plan to fall. When you speak my name, whoa, I hear you go. Say my name, yeah. Once did I plan to fall. Give it all.
There we go. It's Gussie Miller right there. We almost started it again. There we go.
That's okay. You can start again.
Yeah, we could, right? So, yeah, that, I don't know. I think that one just really showcases you, just really helps you, just makes you shine, man. I'm a big fan of that one.
I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
It makes me feel like summer. It makes me feel like I'm, like, you know, the The sun is shining. It makes me feel like late afternoon. That's what it makes me feel like. That late, lazy afternoon Saturday with the sun and like a nice glass of wine, and I can feel myself, near the beach, and you're singing, and yeah. Like that.
Nice.
If you mind hanging out for a second, I want to cover a few things that happened in the news that we may have missed last week. It's actually
Please do.
some entertaining stuff.
It's sure nice to have Gussie come first, so that the music and stuff was cleansing.
This is interesting. I'm going to ask you guys, all of you, a trivia question really quick.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, Stephen Hawking died last week. That news came out. But do you guys have any idea who his favorite music artist was?
No.
You want to take a guess?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Gussie?
Not a clue. Let me think.
Take a guess. Stephen Hawking, favorite music artist, or Nick. Nick, you're on as well. Nick from the Isle of Wight. He's watching.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. You say? Okay. What do you think, Nick?
I agree with Gussie.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I'm going to say Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. You see Stephen Hawking. You see him as a Michael Jackson fan.
Mm-hmm. Why
okay.
not?
Okay. I saw this and I thought, okay, you know what? When I heard that this was his favorite band, his favorite artist, I was like, I like him that much more.
Who is it?
It is none other than Depeche Mode.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
Yes.
Hey, of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was a huge Depeche Mode fan. In fact, he kept asking the guys from Depeche Mode, he kept writing them, asking them if he could meet them. And nobody ever responded to Stephen Hawking. They didn't even know who he was.
Really?
For quite a long time. And he was literally like just hounding them to try to get tickets. Finally, one of his assistants wrote to Depeche Mode's to the record label, and they finally got a reply back. Who is this guy? Yeah, it's this bloke that keeps bugging us for tickets all the time. And it turns out that Stephen Hawking, a big fan of Depeche Mode.
Wow. Well, they're about fashion,
right?
It's Depeche Mode fashion dispatch. It's not about science,
Anyway, I thought
that's not what it's about.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that's pretty awesome, though. That is pretty awesome. I can see him just robotically singing "People Are People."
Right.
People are
so why
people.
should it be?
Oh,
that's so
awesome.
mean. It's terrible.
It
We should
is mean.
do the
It's
speak and
too
spell
soon.
voice.
We shouldn't do that. But that's awesome.
I mean,
you have to admit
that is pretty cool.
That means he's really, really like cool and hip.
Yeah.
Why didn't we know this? We should know more about this.
We should know more about it, but sadly, we're not like that.
No,
that smart.
we're sad people. I should know more about this. I really should.
So you're probably in Los Angeles. You see a lot of people rolling around in their Teslas, right? The Tesla automobiles.
Yes.
You see those everywhere.
I love them.
Are there any Teslas over there?
Yes, they're scary because you can't hear them coming.
I know, it's like a spy car. Like they come.
2019 is going to be good for Tesla.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I saw on LinkedIn that they're actually launching the fastest ever road car in the world.
Right.
It's going to be launched in 2019.
Insane.
Well, the problem is, though, that Tesla is actually having a lot of people complaining because they're putting out a high volume of flawed parts, which is leading to costly rework and refitting of all the parts. Like 40% of their parts made or received in the factory there in Fremont, California, has been requiring extra work to make the car like it should be.
Well, that shouldn't scare anybody. We love Land Rover, and those things fall apart all the time.
Right?
It's like,
Can
look at...
Can I just say a massive hello to Elaine Imminger and Charlie Hale and Martin Jones? I invited them, and they've joined. So that's fantastic.
Hey, Elaine.
So sweet. That's
Thanks for watching. That's awesome. It's good to see you.
You're the best friends, Nick.
So there's that, and then also in other news, Ford has a recall. Another Ford recall.
Oh boy!
It's true. It turns out that the steering wheels on some of the cars, there's like 1.4 million of the cars, the steering wheels can detach from the column.
What?
And actually come off.
Well, of course they can, but we don't want them to.
I've actually got some video that there's a guy right there driving his Ford, and the steering wheel is coming right off. That's real. That's a real thing.
Is that for real?
Or it might be Richard Hammond from Top Gear. I'm not sure. But,
yeah, right. There's always something falling off again from Richard Hammond.
Nonetheless, this is actually what's going on out there. So you got to watch out in some of the Fords.
That's horrible. So they've been sending people.
Take my Ford back.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I have a little Ford Fiesta. So
have you had the wheel come off yet, or no? You've been good with that one.
I don't know. I'll give it a shake tomorrow morning just to make sure it's secured well.
Just give it a good pull, and it should.
Give it a good pull, yeah.
No.
Just fill it in.
Those are good little cars.
I like Fords. I have nothing against
that. We drove that car in Portugal.
A Ford Fiesta.
Yeah,
we drove the shit out of that car all over the place.
He did. I was like, we got to turn this back. He's like, I know.
Yeah,
like,
it was great. It was a peppy little car. Because over in Europe, they make Fords like with some spunk to them. Those little
man.
cars. Over here, they retard them way down, so you can't.
Yeah.
And they're much slower than they are.
because they know how we are.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just going to go like 200 miles an hour.
Is your GMC a version of Ford? Is it the same company?
No, GMC is its own company. They're part of General Motors, and Ford is Ford Motor Company. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Cool.
I'm good with anything with a V8. I'm such a gas guzzler. I don't
Ford
care.
didn't take the bailout, remember?
What's that? No, they did not take the bailout. You're still hanging on to that,
Didn't
aren't
take
you?
the bailout.
Yeah.
What was it?
He said that Ford didn't take the bailout,
Oh, that's
right?
he is hanging out.
He
We
is.
need some GMCs.
And that
in
new
the UK.
Mustang's
I've never
killer.
seen one ever.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is nice. Do you? What kind of car do you guys have? Do you drive a Ford, Gussie, or no?
Actually, I do not. I went German, and I drive an Audi.
Oh, those are great.
That's what
So
I'm sort
those
of
are-
looking at.
Yeah. Is it
But
the
I did rent a Ford Mustang, the 5.0,
right?
and I drove it from Ohio to Madison, Wisconsin.
Wow, that was fun, huh?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was a blast.
I don't know why you drove there, but okay.
He had a gig, right?
Yeah, I had I had a meeting, but
Oh, okay.
it's just when you drive a car that is that powerful,
Right.
and it has this thing in it. I forget what they call it. It's not the tachometer, and it's not what do they call the thing that measures the G's that you pull? I forget what they call it.
Your wife?
The G-forceometer. I don't know. The
Oh,
The boost gauge.
Usually your wife will tell you. Would you slow the hell
honestly,
down?
yeah, she's my G-force meter. I'll turn and when her face
yeah.
when she mashes
The
up
car
against the
is
window.
so powerful,
Yeah.
that you can pull up to 2.5 G's when you step on the gas. It'll go from
love
like
that.
0 to like 70
2.5
in like
Gs.
1.8 seconds or something crazy like that.
Gussie, that would be so awesome. I would never need face cream again. It would be like a permanent like facial, you know.
He made it from Ohio to Wisconsin in an hour.
Yes.
Just zipped right across those states.
In fact, he had milk, and when he got there, it was cheese.
In fact, he got up so
Right.
much speed, he just hit the water and skipped across the Lake Michigan. and it just
Exactly.
skipped him all the way to Chicago, and he just drove up the highway to Madison. It was great.
It was that awesome.
That's how fast he
we
was
were there.
going.
We saw it. It
Yeah,
was great.
it was fantastic. You guys want to
But
play?
I do have a thing for fast cars, I have to say. Yeah.
You
So
and me
does
both.
Davin.
You and
got
I both.
anything else going on?
Okay, so since we are live in New England, I got to touch on this really quick because it's very funny.
got what?
Here in up here in New England, in Maine, of all places, they're going anti-tech with this restaurant up in Maine, and I'm trying to grab the actual.
What else is new? It's Maine.
Yeah.
Anti-tech. I didn't even know they had tech there already.
No, they're going anti-tech. Basically,
Okay.
this restaurant in Maine, they've said that if you want to make a reservation, they're tired of messing with the internet. They're tired of texting all this stuff. So what they're doing now, it's a farm-to-table restaurant in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Lost Kitchen. And they host these series of highly in-demand dinners between
Nice.
May and December each year. And last year, they received an overwhelming 10,000 phone calls for reservations for this farm-to-table restaurant, the Lost Kitchen. So now what really sucks for people is they're tired of being overwhelmed with phone calls.
Yeah.
So they require to make your reservations now by postcard only.
Oh my!
For real.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they've instructed people on their website to send a 3x5 note card with their name, mailing address, email address, and phone number so you can mail in your
I love it.
your reservations.
It's all coming back again. Before you know it, we're going to be like taking like little hammers and making things in caves again. You have to reserve on the wall with your chisel.
Leave it up to Maine.
Oh, I love it. No, leave it up to Maine. That's the way it's always been there.
I know.
This just happened.
So
Are you
frustrating.
kidding me? It's been happening. But I think it's cool. You know why?
What?
We're always going to get a table there. People are lazy.
Did you hear? Yeah.
They won't want to send in their postcards.
Right.
So you and I will always get a table there.
Or you can like mass mail them. We're going
I bought a stamp the other day, 75 cents.
Wait, 75-cent stamp
55
where?
cents.
They're 50 cents.
I'm not kidding.
They're 50 cents now. What, would you have to mail something heavy?
No, it was, what was it? It was
Your
it
wallet?
was a letter, one stamp, and it was like 70, it was either 70 cents or 75 cents.
Dear God. We're not going to reserve any tables because I'm not sending no postcards. That's too much money.
I could drive up there and just knock
You're
on the
never
door.
eating on that at that restaurant. Forget about
Right.
it.
All right, so who wants to play
Remember
guest?
when stamps were like 5 cents?
Oh,
No, but I know that. But I know that Gussie. Sorry, even if
are
I
you saying I'm
did.
older than you? Is that what you're saying?
Even if I did, I was just trying to cut that under the rug right there. Pretend it didn't happen.
What?
David,
What?
What I was going to say was,
Yes.
for the 5-cent stamp,
Go ahead.
was with Gussie's car, you could just drive fastly to Maine quickly.
Hey, we've got Dave Hegner watching out in Cape Cod. We have Chris Parker watching. He's up in, I think he's still in Wisconsin.
Are you feeling better, Chris?
I
Up
hope
in
so.
Wisconsin, because Gussie can drive from Ohio to Wisconsin in his Mustang.
In an hour.
Get you
He
some
can get
soup.
there.
I like that.
So one more thing. Do you guys want to play Guess the Crime?
Sure.
You want to do this? Okay, so Guess the Crime is where I put some mugshots up on the screen. You guys have to guess just by profiling them with their mugshot what they may have done to get arrested.
So wrong.
It is a lot of fun for us. We love doing this. Now, aside from these guys being draped in the same exact robe or whatever, what do you suppose these people did to get themselves arrested? In fact, let me make that mugshot.
you make it larger?
Yeah, make it nice and large.
Oh, look, a Snuggie.
Okay, so you guys,
Oh, it's a jail Snuggie. How lovely.
it is a jail Snuggie. So, what do you suppose these guys did to get themselves arrested?
He looks
You
comfortable.
can comment on the wall. You can also, Gussie and Nick, feel free to speak freely about that one. What do you think they did?
His head
to get
looks like
themselves
it's floating on an ocean of soft blue waves.
Yeah. This is a fun story, by
Well,
the
it
way.
looks like they're wearing. What is that? It looks like they're like at the barber shop, like they're wearing that thing they put on you when you get in the shave.
Yeah, the cape.
Right.
Right.
Or perhaps they needed their nails trimmed and they're very naughty and they had to wrap them like burritos.
Right.
So they wouldn't hiss and bite them like my cats do. That
Looks
man
like
was
it
hissing.
might be. Let's see here. Maybe it's. You know, when you try and break into a house, you get stuck in a chimney.
Right. Okay, there you go. That could be. Chris Parker says indecent exposure, which is a good guess because they've obviously wrapped them in something.
I'm going to guess.
Okay, what do you think they did?
I think they did the naughty at a spa. And they had gotten a little bit out, with a little dope and a little.
The guy on the left, he does look like he's had some sticky icky.
A little
His eyes are
sticky
kind of
icky and a little,
Right.
little caffeine.
Little
and
something?
and a little something else. And then they did it.
Okay. I'm
And
going to
then they
help
got
you.
caught by the masseuse.
I'm going to help you further profile these guys. This happened in Tucson, Arizona, by the way.
Better place to get massage, pot, a little bit of drink.
It was not indecent exposure, by the way, Chris. It wasn't that.
Never mind then.
What about you, Nick Scurr? You got any ideas on what these guys may have done to go to jail?
I stole from a shop, or I don't know, maybe upset the police in some way. Obviously.
No, the police thought they were fine. They're great people.
Oh my
What are you talking
goodness!
about?
Could you imagine?
Anything to do with the bad weather and the snow? Maybe they run around in the snow naked. Because I know some people do that, Davin. Isn't that right?
You saw our video. We were running around.
Nick Scurr.
I thought,
Nick Scurr, usually when you do something bad, the cops do come. But he said it so sweetly that I can't imagine like Nick
Yes.
getting in his Fiesta, getting pulled over by a cop and being
Right.
like, apparently I did something wrong.
Apparently, I've upset you, chaps.
I mean, he's so sweet. He'd be like, I'm so sorry.
What do you think, Gussie? You got any more guesses on these guys? What they did to get themselves thrown in jail before I reveal the story? Because it's a funny story.
Let's see here. Well, like you said, they were covered up in something, so maybe they smeared peanut butter all over themselves and ran naked.
Maybe they did that. Or no, that's not bad. That's actually a pretty good guess.
They stole the key to the spa, didn't they?
they had, I don't know, maybe
I'm
they
still
were
in the spa.
staff in a school, and they started throwing food at the children.
Okay, so here's what these guys did. They were down in Tucson. They went to a local bar there, and they thought they'd have themselves some drinks and eats and so forth. Okay. They ran up a tab of $126 after ordering food and drinks and so forth.
Dang.
And then they did not pay their bill, right?
Oh, okay. So I was half right. He was.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So they show up to go eat. They had no money. They didn't pay the bill. An employee locks the door. They try to get out. And then, in fact, I've got a picture, I think, of that actual bar. Let me see if I can find it. Here we are. Here's the bar in Tucson where they went to go and have their meal there.
Have we ever been there to that one?
It's the Midtown or Midway Bar or whatever.
I don't think we've ever been to
remember.
that one.
I don't
No.
remember a lot of bars that I went to, just so you know.
No, we hung out at like 4th Street,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, after being there, they try to get out of the place, and they wouldn't. That thing's really annoying, by the way. So they try to get out, and then they tase the people. They tase the customers.
What?
Yes, the bartender, rather than using any other force, he tases those guys, knocks them on their ass.
That's why they have the towel things.
Probably they pissed themselves. Who knows
And that's
what?
why he's like,
Right.
Okay.
So then the cops show up because they locked the door on them so they wouldn't let them out without paying. And so they tased them in lieu of paying, I guess.
Show the girl again. Show that picture again.
Which picture? Of
them.
Of them? Okay, let me bring it up here.
See?
So
oh, my Lord. You know, her eyes are actually really big and round, but they tased her, and she's all like...
Well, they didn't tase her in the...
Is that why the guy's eyes are all screwed up?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's probably still in pain for being tased.
Yeah, he's like really got his eyes closed there, isn't he?
Now, I have
shocked.
I have a friend on the police force up here in New England, and he says that when you go in, they tase you to get you ready, so you know what the tasering is like as you know, training.
I want to be that guy.
You want to be the guy that tases the cops?
Oh, yeah. Sign me up.
So it made me think, if you could skip out of your bill of $126 wherever you go, just in exchange for being tased, what else would you be willing to take a tasing for?
That's very good, Davin. That's very good.
Your favorite place, your favorite food. What food are you willing to be tased over?
I just so happened to think about that before.
Like Ribfest is coming to Columbus. I might take a tasing to go to Ribfest instead of paying to get in.
No. Ribfest? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's ribs. Are you kidding me? It's one of the best foods ever.
No.
Yeah.
If someone said, Anna, you will have, I don't know, breakfast, my favorite meal of the day, with Bono, I would be like, tase the shit out of me now. Just go for it. In fact, I would be like, double tase. Anyone? I would be like, anyone.
Right.
And then if they said something like, and Bono has the Pope's phone number.
Oh, then you get tased again.
I'd be like, right here on the tongue.
Yeah. Really, tasing on the tongue.
Why not? It's the Pope.
Okay.
He'd love it.
You would die.
He would be like, you got tased for me? God has a special place for you. So Bono and the Pope, that's it. I'd be tased just those people.
Just them.
And you, of course.
Oh, thanks. That's great.
I'd be tased for you.
Yeah. Anyone or anything you'd be willing to take a tasing for, Gussie?
That's a tough call.
I mean,
maybe some White Castle.
White Castle.
What? Holy crap!
We don't have it in L.A.
What about Sizzler?
Just saying.
Oh, Gussie.
No. We have Sizzler in L.A.
I know you do.
I would not take a tasting for Sizzler. No.
I miss the Sizzler.
Sizzler.
They have the garlic bread, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do. Maybe.
They do.
Yeah.
The garlic plum, that's right.
Yeah.
Sizzler.
It is.
Yeah. Is it the Sizzler with the buffet or the Sizzler without the buffet?
It's with the buffet.
Okay, they all have it?
No, actually, they just built a Sizzler, a new one, like right across the street from my house. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I went over for like the test, when they're testing the staff.
Sure.
Right.
And they give you free food. That was the best.
Okay, they didn't taser anybody.
No taser.
Okay,
now my son, he would take a tasing for Chick-fil-A. That's his favorite.
Oh, yeah, he loves
You
it.
could tase the hell out of him every day if it meant free
Waffle
Chick-fil-A.
fries, Chick-fil-A,
Yeah,
he's there.
He's down with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So.
And maybe, the DeLorean for my kid. Like if they had a DeLorean, I'd be like, tase me for my son.
Right.
Like,
right.
Oh,
you would take a tasing to get him the DeLorean.
to get him to the DeLorean.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that.
I hear you. Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Or
that was a beautiful car, but it didn't go very fast,
No, but it's
They're
so
heavy.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's just the aesthetics for him.
It actually has a Volvo motor in the back. Did you know that? It's a Volvo 6-cylinder? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so anyway. Well, that's pretty much all I got today, guys.
You know what? I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And it's always good to have Nick on because he just
I had fun.
He just makes me, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. He introduces us to Gussie, introduces us to all these awesome people, and and it's like I'm so glad.
And Nick has the cool accent.
He does.
I know, but Gussie, I really, really missed that show. I really wanted to be on it, so I'm so glad we redid this, and I'm so glad that you got to be on it.
Oh, last time
Thank
Gussie
you
was
so
on, she had the
much.
flu. Yeah, you're right.
I was really out
That's
of
right.
commission.
You were under the weather, and it was me, and I think his name was P. Goods.
Yep.
Yes, Garvey.
Yep. P.
Yep.
Goods from Boston. Yep.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
so
he
guys,
hasn't come to see me in
I
a
love
while.
New England. I miss New England, but really only in the summer.
I know.
So yeah, right. So be sure and write Channel 6 and say, hey, that press release you guys picked up with Gussie Miller, you need to bring him in. And so we'll have you come and play up here in New England.
I am definitely trying to get back, especially Rhode Island, because, come on, you guys have got, a jazz festival of your own. It's pretty
Yes.
happy.
do. It's pretty awesome.
Just saying.
Down there in Newport.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
oh
great.
my gosh, that would be so awesome. It'd be so. But you know what? There's other things coming
You're
up,
about to
Gussie.
God's ears.
There's other things coming up too, though. There's also the Opera House in Newport. They're redoing it, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
And they're going to have all new acts and stuff. So that's on my bucket list. That's when my bucket list is, I'm going to sing on stage. But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be the Carol Burnett character at the end of the show with the broom. I just know it. That's going to happen. But oh well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been great having you on again.
Of course.
And
Tickled Pink, love when you guys are interested in having me on. Really appreciate that. I mean,
Awesome.
The cool thing about technology is that you guys can be on one end of the country and I can be on another, and here we are.
I know.
And when it comes to family, that's the best part about technology. We can be on opposite sides of the country.
Yes.
So you're now our family.
Except for the family doesn't have all this cool gear like you guys have, though.
Right.
It's not as cool.
There is that. Yeah, we got that going for the show here.
Well, we'll support you any way we can.
All right, so guys, if you like what you heard today, be sure and look up Gussie Miller. Google him, find him on YouTube. You can purchase all his albums, make him super rich, and
well, maybe not super rich, but
he will afford
support.
Yeah.
Yes, independent music. Yes,
absolutely.
And that's why people like Nick Skura are so important, because
Yes.
Nick is supporting people not only in the UK but all around the world. I mean, he's pushing the Twitter page and the Facebook page. He's really working hard to support not only local musicians but musicians all around the world. It's a huge thing. So you got to
Awesome.
give props.
Yeah, we all just have to help each other. That's a really good.
And Nick, tell
philosophy.
everybody your music page again for everybody who may be watching.
Yeah, I've got a Facebook page called Nick's Music Promo. I've got Spotify playlists where I add unsigned and upcoming musicians too that I got verified as well. Twitter account is at Nick Ska. I'm following you, Davin, and your good lady as well, which is good.
I don't do the Twitter that much.
Yeah, so basically I just does it just like you guys. I just create this platform just to help people like Gussie and other upcoming musicians, just to get that little bit of a boost, that little bit of connection with people that might not normally look at their account. So if you can do a little bit here and there, it certainly does help that musician, and you can move on, and help everyone, and then go back and do a little bit more, and and it's all good fun. It can become hard work, but I love what I do, and I'm passionate about why I do it as well. So
That's the best part.
It is. So if you catch this now, or if you catch it later on the replay, and we will put in subtitles whenever Nick talks, also, just so you know. But if you're catching this, after it's gone live the first time,
We tried to also see how many people we can insult during one
Yeah.
show.
Be sure and look all this up. And thank you so much, Gussie, for spending some time with us this evening. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, the next time you come by, you'll have dinner because I won't be sick and germy, and then we'll go through all my albums. I'll show you all of them. Oh, they're lovely. I have so many.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, then. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Tomorrow, we've got the Homeowner's Playbook I'm going to be doing.
Oh, that's right.
And then also later on this week, we got some more music artists scheduled to be on the show as well. So thanks so much for watching, commenting, sharing, following, etc. We really appreciate it. This show we do for you guys. So
please share. Please, please, please.
All right, have a great night, guys. We'll catch you later.
Thanks.
thank you.